4 times in 20 years, LeBron James has done the same thing. Gone quiet, let the noise build, made the league wait, and then, on his terms, in his words, at a moment he chose, he's changed the entire direction of the NBA and broken the timeline 4 separate times. Think about it. We just watched it happen again. July 24th, 2026, 41 years old, and he's calling it his last decision. Why? But here's what nobody's talking about yet. The team he just picked might be the hardest fit of his entire career, and I'm going to show you exactly why. What's up, you absolute legend? Thank you for tuning in to another Violent Vihan Victor video. And like the previous ones, this one will most likely trigger you and make you feel violently towards me. But if you mess with the content, please hit that like and subscribe button. We are so close to monetization, guys, and that is because of your support. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Before we get to Philadelphia, you need to see the pattern, because it's not a coincidence. It's a formula crafted by the one and only King James. 4 decisions, 20 years apart in total, and every single one follows the same 4 beats. Beat 1, the silence. LeBron goes dark. No leaks, he controls. No soft confirmations. The uncertainty itself becomes the story. Beat 2, the free agency chess game. Teams restructure their entire rosters like years before around the mere possibility of him. Front offices are falling over themselves trying to sign LeBron based on a hunch. Beat 3, he announces it himself on his terms. Not a press conference someone else called. Not a beat reporter's scoop he has to react to. His words, his platform, his framing.
For the simple fact that not only did you trade an all NBA caliber player to a rival.
And then beat 4. The aftermath of all of this reshapes the league standings before a single game is played. You've seen this movie 3 times already. Let's run it back. 2010, 25 years old, Cleveland's saving grace, about to become Cleveland's biggest villain. He sits down with Jim Gray on national television and says 8 words that rewrote how players think and act about their own power in the NBA.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. This is the blueprint. He didn't get traded. He didn't get pushed out. He chose publicly and forced the league to reorganize around that choice. Think about it. Miami didn't just get a player. They got a super team overnight. And it was the greatest day of my life as a Miami Heat fan who had just been at the bottom of the freaking lottery. But I digress, because LeBron's decision pulled Chris Bosh and D Wade's futures into orbit with his. The backlash was instant and enormous. Jerseys burned in Cleveland. But here's the part that matters for today's video and gets lost in the sauce. It worked. 2 championships. And it proved something LeBron never forgot. That he could be the one holding the pen on his own story, not the subject of someone else's. Let's hold the phone though for a sec, because this did not just work for LeBron James. Actually, this kick-started the whole player empowerment movement. For those of you Vihan Victorians who were too young to remember, before LeBron did his first decision, guys moving to and from teams, it was just not a thing. People didn't think it was possible. So actually, while there was all this vitriol towards LeBron, he actually paved the way for players to have much more freedom in the NBA. Let's not forget that this worked on many levels, and that's why LeBron has continued to do it. 4 years later, same formula, opposite direction. No TV special this time, he'd learned. Instead, a first-person essay in Sports Illustrated. Quiet, reflective, redemptive. I'm coming home. But it was the same silence beforehand, same league-wide free agency freeze while everyone waited to see what he'd do, Same instant reshaping of the standings, except this time it was Cleveland who went from lottery team to championship contender within one offseason. And in 2016, he delivered the title the city had waited 52 years for in one of the greatest comebacks in NBA history. 2 decisions in, and the LeBron effect pattern is locked. Disappear, let the league hold its breath, announce on his terms, flip a franchise overnight. 2018. This one's quieter than the first 2, but don't mistake quiet for smaller. A statement released through Clutch Sports Group, his own agency, run by his own longtime friend Rich Paul. No essay, no special, just a press release on his timeline, obviously. The Lakers hadn't made the playoffs in 5 years. Within 2 seasons, they had championship number 4 in the bubble in 2020. Who was finals MVP? Oh yeah, LeBron Raymond James. Look at what's already forming by decision 3. This framework is no longer just LeBron picks a team because he's bored. It's LeBron and Rich Paul architect a situation. That detail matters more than you think. Hold on to it, because it's about to become the whole story. So, that's the pattern. 3 times, 20 years, same choreography. Silence, league-wide anticipation, self-authored announcement, immediate shift in the balance of power. Now, July 2026. LeBron James is 41. Coming off a Lakers season where he missed 22 games, dealing with sciatica and arthritis in his foot. For months the question wasn't where LeBron would go. The question was whether he'd retire. He said as much himself in his own announcement. Same silence, same reflection period. Same Rich Paul in the middle of it. This time literally appearing on his own podcast with 76ers president Bob Myers to make the pitch. And then on July 24th, LeBron does what he always does. Announces it himself on X in his own words. 2 things, yeah? First of all, if you thought LeBron James was gonna retire at the end of the season with a whimper, not get a retirement tour, I got a timeshare in Mexico that I need to sell you. Second of all, nothing has changed. He is, was, and forever will be chasing that ghost in Chicago. And while the ardent Jordan fans don't believe that this is possible, guess what? LeBron wins a 5th ring in shite Philly. That conversation gonna change, whether y'all like it or not. 2 years, $8 million. And he called it his last decision. But let's talk Philly for a sec. On paper, this might be the best roster he's ever joined, especially we're talking starters. The most complete collection of names he's been around of. Every single starter can make a case as an all-star coming up. 2 former MVPs sharing a locker room in LeBron and Joel Embiid. Jaylen Brown, a finals MVP in his prime coming off a MVP season.
The 2024 Bill Russell Finals MVP goes to Jaylen Brown.
Tyrese Maxey, a 2-time All-Star who's practically family to LeBron James. He's repped by Rich Paul and works out with LeBron every offseason.
Head of the field is Maxey. Loop ahead. Maxey, touchdown.
And major upside in VJ Edgecombe. This here is a front office that went all in twice in one summer. First, they traded for Jaylen Brown and got a stinking good deal out of that. Rare for Philly, I know, but they did. Then they landed LeBron without compromising their salary cap.
Yeah, you and the whole city of Philadelphia, right? I'm telling you, there's so many angles to this story. People are just so excited, like you said, to get their hands.
Philadelphia's own governor declared it LeBron James Day in the state. Yeah, I'll say so. Even Bryce Harper weighed in and said the city is on fire. Well, it makes sense, given that the front office didn't make an absolute cock-up and they drove in a straight line. LeBron picked their team. Let's not act like they did some great thing. $8 million for a future Hall of Famer isn't a business decision. Again, I must say, it's a farewell tour with a purpose. LeBron James didn't chase the max contract. He chased the best possible shot at ring number 5. And let's be honest, this has been the main focus each and every time. Despite what it looks like on paper, here's what the highlight reels aren't showing you. This might be the hardest fit LeBron has ever walked into actually, and it comes down to three things. Roadblock 1, Embiid's health. Joel Embiid, the centerpiece this entire team is still built around, has played 39, 19, and 38 games over the last 3 seasons. A meniscus repair, recurring left knee complications, appendicitis. I can't keep going because we'll be here for 24 hours talking about Joel Embiid's injuries.
Kuminga. Oh,
I was right there.
Landed right on his leg, probably hyperextended.
Apparently, LeBron himself was reportedly hesitant about Philly for this reason. Sources close to the situation describe deep concerns about building a title run around a center whose availability is a coin flip every single night. And that is being generous because that means he has a 50% chance of playing every night. That is not the case. The irony is actually kind of brutal. LeBron's arrival is supposed to be the insurance policy for Embiid's health. But insurance doesn't win championships. 2 healthy stars playing together does. And again, let's remember something. LeBron gets sick of teammates who can't perform and either moves from the team or gets them traded. Remember that, Philly.
Okay.
Roadblock 2. There is a real stylistic clash here. LeBron's entire career is built on space and pace. Pick and roll, floor spacing, easy reads in transition, finding the open shooter when he drives. That's still his game. Embiid is the literal opposite. A load-heavy half-court isolation dude who slows the game down to a crawl to do a half-court damage. Put them on the floor together, and you're asking 2 former MVPs to shrink their usage in ways neither has ever had to do. In theory, it sounds great, but in practice, it's hard. Now you add Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey on top of that. Both players who need touches, both players who've earned the ball with
a thunder!
Monster individual seasons. Somebody's usage rate has to shrink. Maybe everybody's does. That is not a lineup problem. That's a chemistry experiment happening live in real games with a 2-year clock running. Roadblock 3. Age, health, and who's on the bench? LeBron is 41. He just missed 22 games with sciatica and foot arthritis. Embiid's knees, we know about that. Jaylen Brown dealt with Achilles tendonitis and a lingering wrist injury last year. This isn't a if everyone stays healthy scenario. Health is the variable the entire season hinges on for basically the entire starting lineup. And oh yeah, behind that starting lineup, the depth is wafer thin. Analysts are already flagging the bench as the single biggest limiting factor for this roster. Meaning, in short, in layman's stupid terms, if the stars go down, there ain't much of a safety net underneath Philadelphia. Now, let's talk about this supposed last decision, the 2-year window. LeBron gave himself 2 years to win this. Not 5, 2. In an Eastern Conference that, by his own admission through his statement, isn't the conference he grew up in anymore. It's a monster now, deeper and tougher than at any point in his career. So here's the real story of LeBron's last decision, or decision number 4. It's not LeBron picks a super team and coasts to a ring. It's the king at 41 walking into the single most talent-dense, least proven, highest variance roster of his entire career. Betting his final chapter on chemistry that doesn't exist yet and health that's never been reliable. 20 years, 4 decisions. Same formula every time. The silence, the anticipation, the self-authored announcement, the league reshaping around him overnight. But this is the first time the formula ends with this much uncertainty attached to it.
Fires away and drills it!
Miami had 2 healthy co-stars in their prime. Cleveland had a hungry young core, and then they had Kyrie Irving and traded for Kevin Love. The Lakers had cap space and a clean slate, and oh yeah, traded for Anthony Davis. Seeing a pattern? Philadelphia has the most star power he's ever played with. And Unfortunately though, the most questions he's ever inherited. LeBron James has spent 20 years making the NBA bend around his decisions. Decision 4 is the first one where the outcome genuinely isn't his to control. So, does the greatest super team on paper actually have the greatest odds on the floor? Drop your prediction below and let me know how you think the Sixers are actually gonna pan out once the ball is rolled onto that floor. That's it for the video today, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching. If you enjoyed, please drop a like and hit that subscribe button so I can stop being broke.